In this tutorial about PHP comparison operators, I'm going to be showing you the operators, the comparison operators that are available in PHP, and I'm also going to be giving you some examples of how and why they might be used, just within an if statement to give you some idea. Okay, so the comparison operators that we have, first of all, equals, or is equal to. So you know that when we assign a variable a value, we use the equals sign. Now to compare, we use the double equals, so this reads is equal to. We also have is not equal to, so we use one equal sign, but we include an exclamation mark just before that. So this means is not equal to. So we've got equal to, is not equal to. We've also got things like greater than, then we've got less than. We can also incorporate this again into these, and we can say greater than or equal to, or less than or equal to. So let's just recap. Is equal to, is not equal to, is greater than, is less than, is greater than or equal to, is less than or equal to. So all you've really got to remember is when you're combining them, you use one equal sign, and normally you would use just two equal signs for the blunt comparison between two variables, or between a variable and a string, or so on and so forth. I mean, with the not equal to, is not equal to, you can also use a greater than and a less than side by side as well, but commonly this is used. Okay, so these are the PHP comparison operators, but how would we go about using them? So let's create a variable. The first one I'm going to create is name equals Alex. The second one I'm going to do is age equals 21, and this should be enough to demonstrate everything. So I'm going to say if name equals Alex, and then I'm going to put my start my curly bracket, and in my curly bracket, so everything in here is going to be echoed out. So I've compared name, which is a variable we've set here, to a standalone string value of Alex, and this is using double equals. So now I'm going to echo out OK. So this is going to be OK if name equals Alex. So let's come into our browser and refresh, and we've received OK. So now I'm going to say if name doesn't equal Alex. Now name does equal Alex, so we won't be given this OK message. So let's refresh again. There we go. So this hasn't this block hasn't basically executed. If we did have an else on here, we can say else not OK, for example. So let's refresh. Not OK. Okay, so or this really should be not true and true, because in actual fact we're validating what's inside these brackets, and if it is true we're obviously echoing this block, otherwise this. So we're using comparison operators to create these for ourselves. Now let's move on to age. So if age is greater than let's say 18, so at the moment this is true, so we should receive true here. That's true. Because the age is greater than this standalone integer I've created here, then that's fine. If I was to create, say, 49, or type 49 and refresh, we're going to be left with not true, because age is not greater than 49, therefore this statement is rendered false. So everything in the else is executed. Now what we could do is say if age is greater than or equal to 21, so let's refresh, that will be true. If we were to take away this, if it's greater than 21, it's anything from 21 up, including decimal values. So this is not true, because age isn't greater than 21, it's equal to it. So we can use greater than or equal to 21. The same with less than or equal to 21. At the moment this is true because it still equals 21. If age is less than 21, which it isn't, so we're going to return false. So it's exactly the same as greater than or equal to, or less than or equal to, because the value is still equal. this true will be executed. Then what we can also do is we can obviously have the not equal, so if it doesn't equal 18, for example, then echo true, which it will be at the moment. If age doesn't equal 21, obviously at the moment we're echoing not true because it does equal 21. So that's just a quick example of how you would use a comparison operator in PHP. Now what I'm going to do is create a more of a real life example. What I'm going to do is I'm going to start with status equals false. Now this is a Boolean value, so it's basically false, and I'm also up here going to say age equals 21. Okay, so status equals false. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to say if age is greater than or equal to 21, and in here I'm going to say status equals true. Okay, now my age is 21, so the status has been set to true. This is basically just going to be, let's say, it could be somewhere where you have to be over 21 to enter, or something you have to buy. So status now equals true. The reason we've declared status as false beforehand is because we want to say guilty before sort of proven innocent. So if we come up here and then we say if status equals true, you're allowed. And again, we'll just put a slash there because I'm using a single quotation mark. So else if status equals false, sorry, not allowed. Now the first thing we're doing is we're setting the age to 21, which could be user inputted, but you'll learn about that a bit later on. We're setting the status to false because we're going to automatically assume that I'm not allowed. If the age is greater than or equal to 21, so if for example it was my 21st birthday, I'm still regarded as older than 21. It could be an hour older than 21, it could be a day older than 21. Then we're going to set the status to true. Otherwise it's going to remain as false. So you can see now why we've put this line in here. Then underneath this we have a comparison. So we have if status equals true, then I'm allowed. Otherwise, if status equals false, sorry, you're not allowed. So let's give this a run, see what happens. It says you're allowed. Now if I was to change this up here to 18, sorry, not allowed. Now the reason I've done this is because I'm just introducing the idea of Boolean. Now these are really useful when you're using, say, a loop. When you come out of a loop, you might want to check if the status is set to true. For example, you might loop through a list of data, and you might say you want to see if something's found in this list of data. So if say you had a list of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and you were checking for the number 3, when it hits number 3, status could be set to true. Then afterwards you could echo out to save you echoing inside the loop. This may not make sense, but this is a really great concept to grasp of using this guilty before proven innocent thing. It really works well in a lot of programs.